Hello and welcome to Manduk Reviews. I am Manduk here with another edition of my Dragon Ball character analysis. Today I shall be talking about Gohan. Gohan is Goku's first son and is one of the main characters of the show. Some may argue he is the primary character of the series. This could make sense as Gohan goes through easily the most radical character development, and he goes from toddler to teen and eventually to young adult. From the very beginning of the series we see that Gohan has great power and potential to surpass his father as a truly great fighter. Despite this, Gohan appears to be rather different from his father, shown as being timid, polite, and very well educated. The key to understanding Gohan's character development is primarily his inner struggle to grapple with his incredible power due to his inherently peaceful nature. Gohan is very intelligent and well educated thanks to the consistent encouragement of his mother, as well as his own desires. Throughout Dragon Ball Z, there are various instances where Gohan's power is shown, though it seems only to reveal itself in great moments of stress. Much like his father, Gohan has a strong desire to protect those around him, as this allows him to temporarily harness his abilities. This is first demonstrated when he is kidnapped by his evil Saiyan uncle, Raditz. The sight of his father being tortured by the Saiyan causes Gohan to have a massive surge of power, in which he escapes from his temporary prison and lashes out. Of course, this dissipates as quickly as it arrives. Shortly thereafter, Goku is killed and his arch-enemy kidnaps Gohan, planning to train him for his harness powers in order to fight the Saiyans. This is very interesting, as this period of training is the foundation for what I would argue to be the strongest relationship of the show. Piccolo's exposure to Gohan's innocent nature begins his long road to the ultimate transformation from an evil villain to a great hero. Piccolo is killed in battle with the Saiyans, and Gohan decides to go with Krillin and Bulma to Namek in order to wish Piccolo and the other warriors back using the Namekian Dragon Balls. The ensuing battle on Namek with Frieza and his men shows Gohan truly overcoming his fears, taking on foes far greater than himself, despite the high probability of his own death. The most noteworthy event is perhaps when Goku is believed to be dead, and Gohan attempts to hold off Frieza long enough for the planet to explode. Though he knows he will probably perish, he shows a willingness to make the sacrifice to take down the godlike tyrant. Later, in the Android/Cell arc, Gohan shows willingness once again to defend the Earth, undergoing another training regimen, this time with his own father. Though Gohan's power continues to grow, we see later that the duality of his nature ultimately still holds him back. In fighting Cell, we see two important elements. On one hand, Gohan has a great compassion for others, as the torture of his friends by Cell's evil children, if you want to call them that, and the death of the Android 16 allow him to harness much of his potential. On the other hand, Gohan ultimately doubts himself, feeling unconfident in his abilities as a warrior. He even states that despite how terrible Cell is, he doesn't want to fight him, begging the android to stop his destructive path. At this point, it is only through Goku's influence in the afterlife and Vegeta's assistance that Gohan is victorious. In later arcs, Gohan matures and finally manages to achieve that balance, remaining one of the series' strongest warriors, but also achieving his dream of becoming a great scholar. Gohan is a well-developed character and probably the most complex. He was a character I always personally liked, as due to his obvious growth over time, he is very relatable for young viewers. The fact that despite his abilities, he was still a scared child much of the time really makes sense, as he's exposed to quite a few apocalyptic situations. Still, it is ultimately Gohan's courage and compassion for others which truly makes him stand out, as well as his more layered personality. He could go from a gentle, kind-hearted kid to a force of massive destruction in an instant. However, one could argue that he never quite surpasses his father. Rather, he chose his own path, remaining aware of his inherited talents, but not allowing that to overshadow his own personal decisions. Well, that's all I have to say about Gohan. Please feel free to comment or subscribe. This is Manduk signing off. Until next time.